Hello and welcome to Nari to Narayani. I'm Smita Sarkar, your host for this episode. In today's episode, we have two stellar Punjabi women who've dedicated themselves to the service of Great Britain and beyond. Please welcome Corporal Pradeep Kaur of the British Army. Pradeep will tell us about her extraordinary journey as an officer and about the opportunities for women in the defense services. Welcome, Pradeep. My
Thank you.
welcome, Pradeep. My other guest is Anita Goel, MBE. She's the CEO of Hemraj Goel Foundation. Anita wears many hats, and as a coveted philanthropist, Anita is the chair and trustee of leading charitable organizations in the UK. Anita is an author, she's a podcaster, and has been designing workshops to help children during the lockdown. Thank you so much for joining us today, Anita.
Oh, thank you, Smita. Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Anita, I'm sure 30 hours a day will not be enough for someone like you with so many varied roles and responsibilities to juggle. So, how do you manage your time?
Now, that's a really good question, Smita. I'm very, very grateful for the support I have, firstly, with my family life and also with the team that support me in doing what I can. But ultimately, you've got to have some very great goals and ensure that every day, those activities that you're doing, you are working towards your goals. And I think when you see the bigger picture and you've designed your life with a great vision, then things that happen, you make things happen, and you have to have the energy to do this. So it's really important to have your rest, to ensure that you've got all the right resources that you need in order to do all those things that you have a dream to achieve.
Right. I think very, very important and pertinent points. I mean, goals, really setting them, it's just so important, isn't it? So,
Absolutely.
Pradeep,
It
you're
sets the scene.
yes, absolutely. In fact, I do one of these to-do lists every day for on a daily basis, and I'm not even
Mhm.
half as busy as you are, but it really helps, I think. Absolutely. Pradeep, I'll come to you next. You're a chef in the army, right? So tell me, what is it that makes you Punjabi women so strong and excel in what you do? I mean, is it the magic of your sarson da saag, makki ki roti, and gallons of uh, lassi? I'm sure it's more than that, but
First of all, I would like to thank you very much for having me on the show, and it's my pleasure to talk about myself and about the army. And yes, like you said, it's Punjabi women are born strong, and of course, it's the power of saag and makki di roti, of course, and lassi as well. So, being an army chef is my job to keep the soldiers to march on their stomachs. Yes, it's
Mhm.
good.
So
Yes.
yeah, Pradeep, you've actually done something quite unique recently. You've raised funds for the NHS during the lockdown. And what you've done is you've run a marathon from the patio of your home. So, do you want to tell us what it is? I mean, you did, and do you want to share your experience with us?
Yeah, sure. So everybody knows last year during the lockdown and the pandemic, the situation of the country was very hard, and doing something 48 kilometers distance in my 6 meter long patio garden, it was very challenging and tough. And it was Captain Sir Tom Moore who has inspired me to do that. And I really wanted
Mm-hmm.
to do something for the country and for the NHS staff who actually gave up their time to serve the country and the nation. And yeah, I just wanted to give something from myself and to inspire other people, and especially to raise the funds I raised there, which was £1,320 within 24 hours. And yes, my inspiration came from Captain Tom Moore. Sadly, he has left the world, and I'm sure his legacy will continue and will live on. So he was my inspiration to do that.
So Pradeep, if someone wants to do this from their patio and just run a marathon, raise funds, what is the way to go about it?
It's all about up in mind, and it's all about dedication as well. And if you want to really do something for yourself and you want to really show what you are made of, so I'm sure just get out and go.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's so important that if you have the will to do something good, and you have the will to, make a difference. And I mean, you'll always find a way. Lockdown, no lockdown, social distancing, no social distancing. These
Yeah,
things don't
it's
really
it's
matter.
it's all
Exactly.
in
It's
mind.
just your will to
One,
do it. You find a
yeah,
way.
yeah. There is a will, there is a way. They say that. So surely, if you want to do something, if you want to achieve something, you really need to get up and go. And I'm sure you'll be able to achieve. Everything is possible.
Absolutely. Anita, I'll turn my attention to you now because you've done something quite interesting during the lockdown as well. What you've done is you've actually turned your attention towards designing workshops for school-going children, who have been kind of stuck at home for months on end because schools are shut, and there has been tremendous pressure even on parents and who are, kind of working from home and trying to juggle between um, managing their children and their work. So, what do these workshops do?
Well, these workshops were originally designed to help children develop their personal social development and their emotional health, their mental health. And these came about around about 6 years ago. Vanish, my husband, and I, we decided that personal development was really important for school children to be able to access. And so I set about designing the enrichment experience in education. And we go in and we get some amazing workshop leaders deliver workshops around personal development. And it's all important now because, as you know, so many children's mental health, emotional health, social health is being impacted by this. And being at home, homeschooling is a real
Homeschooling,
challenge in
yes.
itself. Absolutely.
Hmm.
And I'm one of the lucky ones. My children have all graduated from university. But I really do feel for those mothers who have very young children and they're also trying to juggle their working life, working from home. There's lots of challenges, with schools, how effective teaching and learning really is. Are children really attending fully on homeschooling? And also the biggest challenge we have as a country is digital poverty. As you know, not all
Hmm.
children have access to laptops or devices, and data as well is another challenge. So the government have launched some
Absolutely.
great programs in order to support that. But my program is
Hmm.
it's designed to be delivered in schools. And of course, we
Hmm.
are thinking about how do we turn this into digital because, as you know, with coronavirus, we're unable to get into schools right now. But as soon as schools are open up, we are hoping to get our team of leaders to go in and really shift the mindset of young people so that
Okay.
they can really get the best for themselves in terms of setting their mind to achieving the best they can now in the circumstances that they're
Right.
in.
Yes, absolutely. Anita, you come from an education background. I mean, you were an educationalist, but children's charities are also very close to your heart, right? You have been working very closely with quite a few of them in within Great Britain and outside. So, including Barnardo's, which is the biggest children's charity in the UK, right? So, do you want to talk about your association and the work that you're doing there with us?
Absolutely. With delight. Bernardo's and I, we go back since 2017. I started supporting the FGM appeal, where I
Hmm.
had an opportunity to support the fundraising and raising awareness of this appeal. And we did lots of events in order to educate the communities. And so I've been doing that for some time now. But recently I was appointed as the vice president of Bernardo's, and in 2019 and 20, Bernardo's was able to impact 358,000 children in the UK, and that's a lot of young people. And as one in eight children have had a mental health condition. Is probably the stats are probably a lot more now since the coronavirus lockdown, and 4 million children are growing up in poverty. So, for me, doing this work is really important because we want to be able to fundraise, raise awareness about all the different areas in which Barnardo's is supporting young people. But in saying that, I've been involved with the Outward Bound Trust, who are another great charity, again based in the UK, where they get children from schools to go along to the residentials over in Lake District or Snowdonia in Wales. And they really get young people to build their resilience and their strength their confidence and their self-esteem, and really engage in some outdoor activities that are powerful. They get to learn to work in teams. And all of these skills
Mm-hmm.
are so needed nowadays for young people in schools, in their lives. So it's how do they learn for life? There are so many charities that I could tell you about, but these two are my, I'm very, these are dear to my heart, especially in the UK. The British Asian Trust are doing some phenomenal work in the UK. As you know, they're on a mission to eradicate, or you could say reduce, anti-trafficking in India by 50%
Right,
over the
right,
next
right.
10 years or so. So there's so much
Mm-hmm.
going on in the world right now, and I urge people to find out more about the cause that they can really connect with, and to do something about that.
Okay, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Pradeep actually has had quite an unusual journey. I think she's born in Jalandhar. She was raised there, and then she moved to the UK. And Pradeep, what made you join the army?
So when I was in my childhood days, I always wanted to be a soldier. I didn't know I wanted to be whether a British Army soldier or Indian Army soldier. I was very
Mm-hmm.
small that time, but as the time went past, I used to go to the college, and there used to be an army truck passes by, and always used to wave at them. And I always
Uh-huh.
wanted to be a soldier. So when I was waving waves at them, I was like, I want to be one of them. And also, I wanted to travel the world, adventure, challenging faces challenging, and
Mm-hmm.
especially with our ancestors who have actually fought World War I and II. I just wanted to continue their legacy. So I just wanted to serve the army with a loyalty and a respect. So yeah, that's what made me to join the British Army.
Okay, so what is life in the army like? I mean, for civilians, I'm sure. I mean, it's something that's completely different from the kind of life we lead. So, what is life in the army like? How's your
Life,
day in a day? How do you? Yeah.
life in the army is very full of varieties, adventure, full of
Mm-hmm.
opportunities. So my day-to-day life in the army is very good. I find myself one of very lucky women to be in the army because I utilize my time very well, and also my daily job is cooking for the troops, and also I'm a production supervisor as well in the Royal Logistic Corps. And yeah, being in the army is very so far my journey has been very well, and the life, like I already said, full of adventure, full of varieties. I get to travel the world a lot. I get to meet different people from different religions, culture. As you know, the army is very welcoming to the whole culture and religion or any other nation. So yeah, army is full of fun.
Full of fun.
Full of fun and full of varieties, and lots to be offered.
Well, it looks like a lot of hard work to me. I mean, you need to be physically
Hard work.
fit, you need to be disciplined, and
Yes, we have our core values. So they call C drills. Obviously, so I will go one by one. C stands for courage, discipline, respect
Mhm,
for other. That's the biggest one. Integrity. You need to be
mhm,
honest to yourself. Loyal, selfless commitment. That's all covers, you know. And as you speak about hard work, it's not just in the British Army. That's in any organization. You got to work hard to achieve.
absolutely.
If you want to achieve something, you got to work hard. And another one is a teamwork. Teamwork, I say, teamwork makes a dream work. If there's no teamwork, there won't be any work get done in time. So respect for others, that's the biggest one. If you don't respect others as you wish to be treated, I'm sure the team will not go very well. And selfless commitment is the biggest one. Another one, to be able to help people or put others before yourself. These are the biggest one for me. So army is full of hard work, would say, yeah, full of varieties, roles, adventure as well.
So we have seen quite a few British Asian women joining the army these days. So what kind of opportunities are there for women, especially British Asian women, to join the army? or the defense
Um,
services for that matter?
as you just mentioned already, British Asian women are joining the army. Army has got a
Right.
variety of jobs and roles, and it's not just
Mm-hmm.
for the Asian women. It's for every woman who wants to join the British Armed Forces. And in the
Mm-hmm.
army, we have got so many roles, as Asian parents won't know, but I will mention few of them. So, being a female or Asian or any other women, you can join the army as a doctor, lawyers, teachers, paramedics, pharmacists, nurses. You can be an architect as well in the army. You can There's
Mm-hmm.
vast opportunities for the women to be what they want to be and what field that's going to suitable for them. So I would
Right.
say definitely please go into army website, and then there's more. Army's got a lot to offer.
I'm
You can
sure.
be.
I'm sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's fantastic. I think, I mean, the fact that there are so many opportunities in the army is fantastic, and this participation of more number of women and British Asian women is also quite encouraging. So
Yes,
Anita,
definitely.
going back to your yes, Anita, going back to your discussion about setting goals, you have been conducting the workshops on vision boards. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I'm delighted to tell you about that. So every year, Avnish and I, we set up a thing called a vision board and goal setting workshops, where we invite people to come
Mm-hmm.
along to the seminar, and they get to spend a day active of their life to explore what they really want in their future, and they set some
Okay.
really powerful goals for the year, and they design a vision board with their family, with their children, or with their partner, and they get to understand, why is it that they want to achieve this goal? What would happen if they achieved the goal? Who would they be being? We really explore how their life could become even more enhanced
Mm-hmm.
and take their living to the next new level. So it's a really
Right.
important workshop for us. It's one of our most popular workshops. It's always done in January, and very soon we're going to be launching our YouTube, which will show how you can create your goals and your vision board, and that will be coming out very soon on our Hemraj Gaur Foundation YouTube channel.
Awesome. So this year in Jan, you actually did it online, right? Because of social distancing and the lockdown. And I believe the response was quite fantastic because I had logged in as well.
That's great.
And yeah, so tell us what were the numbers like? How was the response?
Yeah, it was amazing. We had so many people on the screens, and it was just such a unique way to do this. We had 1,000 people all together who I hope we've been
Hmm.
able to impact and make a difference in their lives.
Right. So, is this going to be something that you're going to try out next time? Because, obviously, the social making it online kind of makes it borderless also in a way. I could do it
Yes.
without really having to, go to physically visit a place and do it, but I can, it makes it borderless and the reach becomes a lot bigger. So, are you planning to keep this model going of going online?
I think so. I think it's a great way to allow more and more people to access this material, and also to be more
Mm-hmm.
inclusive. So when you've got children as well, it's easy to have them in your home doing a workshop like this. So it's great for families to sit down together around the table and
Right.
and to really start to influence young people and get young people into personal development, which is great for them
Mm-hmm.
as they grow up. They learn some fantastic things. They have more tools that will help them to deal with their emotions, their behavior, their mental health, because the more they have, the more they can achieve in their life as well, growing up, and also especially
Absolutely.
at this time now in
Absolutely.
the pandemic.
Absolutely. And I think doing it from the comfort of their homes is also like, you have that familiar background and you actually do things better. So that might be, one way of, so at this point, I think we need to go in for a short break. But what we can, or maybe we can just maybe take one more question from, from Anita or I think we'll just keep this for after the break. So just stay tuned, because after the break we'll have a lot of other discussions. We'll talk about um, Pardeep and her mission, the UN, her peacekeeping missions in Kenya and South Sudan. So she's actually traveled to Africa with the British Army, and we'll discuss more about what she's done there. We'll discuss about Anita and her books. She's authored books. She's also, we'll talk about her podcast and a lot more. But just stay tuned, and it's all coming up on the other end of the break. So do join us then.
The house itself is fine, but it's a typical 1990s house. There's nothing special about the house, but it's full of memories. It's got my life in it. In many respects, you know, some of the boyfriends that come round that you didn't like say, oh my God, he's turned up again, you know, that sort of thing. So yeah, I wouldn't want to leave it.
Rise, recline, relax with Oak Tree Mobility.
Our March draws are just around the corner, and there's 4.1 million reasons to join in.
I can't believe it.
In one lucky postcode area, every player will win a share of £4.1 million.
That's a life changer.
Join People's Postcode Lottery before midnight on the 18th of February for a chance to win.
I don't mind being in lockdown with that in the bank.
Someone's knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing the bell.
Sorry I'm late, Maestro.
Oh, Bob, Bob, why are you dressed like that?
Well, the script said we should see a trendy version of De Niro, so here I am.
It's not De Niro, like Robert De Niro. It's the Niro, the car. And it runs fully electric, hybrid, and plug-in hybrid.
I'm sorry, my bad. I'll be right back.
The Kia Niro family, available as the electric e-Niro, self-charging hybrid, and plug-in hybrid.
Kia, movement that inspires.
It's for her. It's for him.
Let's go.
It's for them. If you aren't around. Life insurance from Legal & General starts from just £6 a month and could help support your loved ones financially if the worst happens to you. You'll also receive a £100 gift card after you take out cover. Life insurance. It's for them. Get your quote today.
At Glasses Direct, try the glasses you like at home for free. Get your glasses your way at glassesdirect.co.uk.
At LV, we love saving you money on your home insurance. So when you buy online with us, you'll get a massive discount of up to 25%. And to save you any worry, if something does happen, you'll get your own personal claims handler too. No wonder we're a Which recommended provider for home insurance. To see how much you could save, go to lv.com now.
Wow. That's a low price. Shh. Low price.
Amazon. Low prices anytime, anywhere.
We have a responsibility to make the planet a better place to live in. And if that starts with me or someone else, it has to start somewhere.
Morning. You're good. Thank you.
And that's why we created a fleet of electric vans. Zero emissions is the way that we can reduce the impact we have on the environment. If we act now, we can make a real difference for the future. I'm Ben, an operations manager for Amazon.
See me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Welcome back to the next episode. Sorry, welcome back after the break. I'm sorry. In the first break, we had discussed quite a few things about Anita and Pardeep Kaul, and we basically heard their inspiring journey. So we'll go back a little more and talk a little bit more about their journey. Uh, Now, Pardeep has actually traveled to Kenya and South Sudan with the peacekeeping forces, and I think it's amazing to have an opportunity to do that because it opens up so many different opens you up to so many different adventures, the ability to serve people. So let's hear it all from Pardeep.
Hello. Yes, thank you for the question. Very good question. So I went to Kenya 3 times back in 2014, 15, and 16. That was 3 years in a row where I've spent like literally 7 weeks every year, and working with, of course, working with the British troop. And my job was there to feed the troops and feed the soldiers. We were feeding like up to 700, 800 people per day, and was it 3 times or 3 meals a day, which was quite a hard work. And also working in that much heat, it was really intense, but I really thoroughly enjoyed it. While I was there, I had the opportunity to do the adventure training. That was a 1 week or 2 weeks package where I went to do the kayaking. I did a mountain bike orienteering, and it was a very vast opportunity for me to go out in Kenya and actually explore the adventure and explore the country itself. Moving on to South Sudan, that was just recently, about a couple of years ago, 2018. I volunteered myself to go to South Sudan, and that was for 6 to 7 months long, leaving my little one at the back. That was a bit hard, but this is my job. I had to do it. So working in South Sudan was tough conditions, and the weather was really hot. Sometimes we used to get so much rain and so much hot weather, and then made the work a bit more harder than what we thought. Again, my job was there to look after the kitchens, look after the food, cook the food, serve the food, basically for the soldiers. I was attached to the 3-6 Engineer Regiment from Maidstone. So feeding about 500 to 600 people. Sometimes it was less or more.
Wow.
The good thing was about South Sudan, I had the honor and privilege to meet the Indian Army, and I felt very kind of home feeling there. I used to get invited to the Indian temple there in South Sudan, where I used to go and keep practice my faith. That was another part of the tour, and also I had the opportunity to meet the journalist from UK. They went to South Sudan to visit the country itself. So that was my another moment to meet them. Actually, I cooked the food for them, and also the biggest one, what I really liked about my tour, I raised the money for Macmillan Cancer Charity, and by baking lots of cakes, and raised the funds of about 400 to 500 pound. And my journey has been so well, and I was very pleased to be in South Sudan and Kenya to serve with the British Army. And another thing was
that's fantastic.
There's so much to talk about when I went to Kenya and South Sudan, meeting the locals there and learning their language, learning Swahili, so I'll be able to keep up my communication skills with them. So if I need to get the job done, as we most of us know, Kenyan, they don't really speak much English, so that was my biggest strongest point. I learned a bit of Swahili to come out with a kind of Swahili language, so I can be able to speak with the locals who actually were working for me or working for the other staff. And it was really good journey.
So how long were you there? How long was this mission of yours?
So my South Sudan mission was 6 to 7 months long. So we were doing rotations.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, it was a long time. But within that period, I had, we call it R&R, it's like a leave. You come back to UK for 2 weeks. So I had a bit of time to spend
Mm-hmm.
with my family, and then I went back to accomplish my mission. So in Kenya, I was there for 7 weeks. So it was like, as I mentioned already, 3 years in a row, 7 weeks in Kenya, and then back to UK. And it has been a really good journey so far, and I look forward to
So it
many
must
more.
be quite tough, right? You've got a young child, so you must be missing him quite a lot. You must be missing family. So when you said it's not, army is really a fun place, I was kind of quite sure that there were sacrifices that you have to make, and I'm sure it's not as easy as you made it sound, which is good. But you did miss home, right? And especially when
Yeah,
during during the
yeah.
transition, leaving your family behind for these missions.
Yeah, it's you have to be mentally strong, because it's I joined the armed forces. I knew it, that is going to come at any point of my army career. So I took it up. I took the challenge. I knew I want to do it, and I wanted to meet different people, travel the world. And also, it's not I know I was missing family, but also the army, when you actually go away on these long tours, you get the welfare package, where they give you the SIM card. You can actually do FaceTime phone to your family, to your friends, and that was all available to me while I was there for a long 6 to 7 months. And by doing that, by FaceTiming my son, and the communication was there. So I think that quite made it really easy for myself, talking to my son over the phone every day, or talking to my family over the phone by actually doing the FaceTime. Army is there to look after you. If you do feel down, army is
Right.
there. They can reassure you, we are here. And yeah, it was good.
It is like a family, isn't it?
Army is like a family. Yep, it's like a big, massive family.
Oh, great. So I'll ask you, Anita. Anita, you've actually supported several charities and their work, right? So it's across the board. And what are the causes that are closest to your heart? So and why are they so close to your heart?
I have many that are close to my heart, but especially the ones which are around children. As you know, I was a teacher for 20 years, and I had an amazing career working in schools in East London and also in Essex. And I've been always inspired by the work that the charities in India, the NGOs such as Toy Bank and the Doorstep School Project. So our family foundation, Hemorrhage Gold Foundation, was set up 10 years ago, and we recently supported the Doorstep School, where we've now got our own school bus. Basically, this school bus goes around picking up children who are on the streets, who they're not
Okay.
engaging in school, they're working, they're earning money, they're very young, they're just disengaged from school, and this school bus
Mm-hmm.
gets them in, educates them for a couple of hours. And I had a great opportunity to go out to Mumbai to be on this bus with my two daughters and my husband, and to really give my daughters an opportunity to see how children are living in such poverty, how education is such a challenge for them. But it was so good to see that there is some great work going on in India with some of these charities. And, the educational side of things is something that really touches my heart each time. As well as things on anti-trafficking. Anti-trafficking projects are very, very difficult. When we go and see them in Mumbai, in Jaipur, and also in Delhi, always touched by the challenges, the difficulties, the hardships that these children are surrounded by, their living environments, and exactly what the NGOs are doing to support these children, to rescue them from their terrible lives and rehabilitate them, and to also prevent this from happening. So the projects are very inspirational, because what you get to see is these young children, especially the young girls, how positive they are, how inspirational they are in their lives. So that's very encouraging, I think, for me, because I think, God, that happened to you, and yet you're still smiling, and you're giving us so much courage to look at our difficulties. In fact, our difficulties in life are nothing compared to what these young people go through. And I think
yes,
that
absolutely.
always surprises me. And it's really important I go and do this work because I get a deeper understanding alongside my family as well when they get to go. And I think it's really important to get your children to see some of these projects as well. If you ever get a chance to go to see some of these projects and to involve your family, they get to understand your work more as well. And they also encourage you to say, okay, let's do something more. Let's do a fundraising event and let's do a charity event where we can raise more money so we can make an even bigger difference. You know, I've also been quite lucky because in the social care sector with my husband's business with care homes, we've been involved with the Championing Social Care voluntary group, which has been really great for us because I'm now the chair of the committee that leads the care sector fundraising ball. And this is something we've been doing for the last 2 years. This year's got cancelled, of course, and we've now postponed. Actually, no, last year's was cancelled. This year we postponed it to, and now we've pushed it over to next year, 2022, where we're looking at supporting Alzheimer's Society and Care Workers Charity. And that's a really big annual event for us, especially for the care sector. Social care is very, very close to us, and it's really important that we support Alzheimer's Society with the incredible work that they're doing with dementia research, with the communities, because communities have a really big part to play with supporting people living with dementia. And I think there's a lot of work to also be done within our Asian community around awareness raising, around smashing some of the shame around dementia, and really getting people on board now. So if anybody wants to do more for the Asian community and raising awareness for dementia, please get in touch with us, because I really would like more and more people to be involved with this with us. So yeah, there's just so many projects going on right now, Smita, and all of them I'm close to. I want to do everything. So I just want more people to help.
Like I mentioned earlier. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I'm sure 35 hours a day wouldn't be enough for all that you want to do. And I don't know if you remember, Anita, but the first time we met was during the Care Awards. And I had worked very closely with people living with dementia as well. But my domain was, of course, making films for people so that, they could use visual therapy instead of medicine. So, yeah, I know your causes are brilliant. And I think, the fact that you were talking about anti-trafficking. I did a couple of stories on that as well. And it's so important that we kind of expose our children to this. We take them out and let them volunteer for social causes, let them volunteer for charities, let them be exposed to what really matters. It makes them emotionally stronger, resilient, and it makes them, better citizens of tomorrow. So it's brilliant. What you're doing is brilliant. I really appreciate it. Pradeep, I'll ask you another question. I'll ask you another question about India. You were born in Jalandhar, right?
Yep.
You're from Jalandhar. So, in India, in India, there is something called the National Cadet Corps. It's like similar to the British. I mean, you actually get trained in NCC. That's right. So, were you a part of it ever when you were growing up?
No, so when I did my year 10th class, that's what we call it, 10th class back home. So I actually, when I went to the college, I attended 2-day selection. I wasn't really gonna do it. I just went out with my friend, and she was a part of the NCC cadet force, but I really wanted to join it, but my family didn't give me permission to join that time. And I think something has changed me so much. But always wanted to be a soldier, as I mentioned already, but I didn't really have the opportunity to join the NCC or the cadet force back in India. But there's one of them things.
Okay. So when you have a little time, Pradeep, what are your special interests? What do you do?
So I do a lot. Start beginning with my fitness. of course, in the army,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be fit soldier. But in my own spare time after my day-to-day job, I go home and then I do, or sometimes I go to the gym or I just do running outside. Apart from that, I also do a lot of live cooking with celebrity chefs from India, from UK, from other countries as well. Also, I run my YouTube channels. When I get the time, I do a fitness video on my YouTube channel, outing blog, and I also do a cooking blog. My main motive for that channel to show people what can they actually do in their spare time, and also I want to show them some people don't know how to cook, and I'm just there showing off my skills and basically encouraging them to be what they want to be, and just basically doing what I want. Basically, I'm just inspiring them by doing that.
Absolutely. You are an inspiration for sure. You're also a single mom and you're so strong. So definitely an inspiration for all of us. Anita, in fact, she's written some really inspiring stories about Punjabi women, and she's authored her first book, which is Voices from Punjab. And I think your second book is also in the pipeline, Voices from Gujarat, right?
Absolutely,
And
yes.
you also started your own, you started your podcast, and I've been hearing it, and some really good leaders, some really, inspiring stories out there. So, how have these platforms helped you, spread awareness and spread inspiration?
Well, firstly, I'm really inspired by all the work that Pradeep is doing, especially around the YouTube channels and is inspiring others with with your cooking skills and also with your exercising. I think that's a great combination. Seeing as you do that in your spare time, I also write books in my spare time and do the podcasts as well. I am just hugely curious about people's lives. I love to know more and more about their lives and just to uncover this so that I can share it with the world. So when you write your books, you get to really explore some issues. And one of the biggest issues I've come across in my books is gender inequality, the challenges that women have, especially from British Asian backgrounds, and all the barriers they've had to overcome in order to excel their careers, and to really to share with the world how you can take the powerful messages from these stories and use them in your life, I think. But for me, just meeting these incredible women was very uplifting for me. I learned a lot from their lives, and I also got to understand a bit more about my history, being from Punjab. My mum and dad are both from Punjab. My mum is from Moga. My dad is from Ludhiana. And I think it's really helped me to understand and appreciate how difficult life was back there in the 60s and 70s, especially in the UK, going to school and also in the workplace. Voices from Gujarat, again, that's takes a look at women's lives through their journey from India all the way to East Africa and to the UK. And finally, just with the podcast, for me, the podcast again is a way to interview some amazing people, people who I want to explore more about their everyday lives. And finally, Avnish and I have just launched a new series of podcasts called Loving in Lockdown. So we are sharing a 4-part series about what some of the challenges are with relationships, with your partner, your intimate relationships. And we're just hoping to give people lots of insight and tools so they can really develop and work on their relationships so it can be the best. This is all leading up to Valentine's Day. So that's all out now. It's on my podcast show called Relight Your Fire. So if you get a chance, listen to those inspirational people and also hear us with our Valentine's Day special.
Yeah, absolutely. Very powerful stories, I think. Talking about while authoring a book, you actually come across so much. I've also heard one episode of your Loving in Lockdown, and I think it's quite funny, it's quite funky. So especially when you've done like a decade of your marriage. I mean, seriously, you're like stuck with that same person during a lockdown. I mean, it's a funny situation, but you can also like really make the most of it, I think. Normally we just complain about how we don't get to spend time with each other, and then suddenly you have just too much of it, isn't it? So
yeah.
So that's great stuff. Pradeep, do you want to talk about anything that's been an exceptional experience for you in the army? The army is quite inclusive.
Yeah, army is very diverse and inclusive as well. Army, basically, the British Army, they welcome everyone in the army. They respect your religion, they respect where you're from, they respect your culture, and also within the army we do celebrate our festivals. Yeah, Sikh chaplain, Hindu chaplain, Muslim chaplains, and there are so many Facebook.
Pradeep, I'm sorry. I think we are losing your audio here. I'll just come back to you in a bit. I'll let the studio fix this. Anita, I'll just ask Anita a question. Yeah, Anita, what is your mantra in life? What do you kind of live by? Is there a mantra?
Oh God, I have so many, but some of the messages I want to share with people is that I think it's so important to keep on learning and to enrich your life with new experiences and to be true to your values. Self-care is really important, serving others and making a difference and contributing to communities of the world is essential to lead a really fulfilling life. Keep moving forward with an open mind, authentically, with integrity, and encourage yourself and encourage others to be the best they can possibly be in their lives. And I think most importantly is evolve your life through personal development, because through that you can just live a really high quality life.
Right. Pradeep, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can.
Are you able to hear? Okay. Yes, I can. Pradeep, tell me something. If you were to sum up the army, say in one word or maybe a sentence, what would that be?
For me, it's life-changing.
Okay.
Completely life-changing.
Anita, if you were to talk about philanthropy and talk about why you have chosen to be a philanthropist, what would you say? Why is that?
Well, as you know, Smita, I was a teacher for 20 years and I was making a difference to a small number of young people. When I decided to run the family foundation, the Hemorrhage Gold Foundation, it just opened up a whole new world for me. And I kind of took a risk. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, but I used all those skills that I learned as a teacher to help develop my skills in philanthropy and also to continue to work on projects that lead. Okay, so I think, take a risk and do something different. And this is the best decision I made in my life. And now we set up the Hallmark Care Homes Foundation. I get to be part of other charities and have a really good role. So I think by changing my career, by changing my profession, going to a completely different sector, being involved in the social care sector, it's just opened my eyes, my mind, my heart to so many different new things about the world that I wouldn't have been able to do otherwise.
Absolutely. In fact, your discussion here today has really brought out so many important points, and I think people, our audiences hearing, our viewers watching this would really gain a lot of insights from that. Pradeep, another question to you. Do you have a few words for people who want to join the army, women like you, British Asian women like you, or even if they even if they don't want to join the army but lead a disciplined life? Do you want to share some tips, something that you can say to them to inspire them?
Of course. I would say if anybody wants to join the army, please go on to our army website, to the British Army website, search for jobs. And also, what I would like to say to others, if I can do it, so can you. So get out there, search for the jobs, and I'm sure you will be where I am today.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I think with that, we are going to come to the end of the show. And thank you so much for your for taking out time from your really busy lives. I know Pradeep had an appointment and this afternoon, and she was like running late for the show. She just somehow managed to come in and log in. And thank you so much, Pradeep, for doing this. I know you're very busy professionals yourselves. Anita, thank you so much. I know you are like constantly into meetings, and it's amazing. It's amazing that you people are still working so hard during a lockdown, and you're looking for solutions for making lives of people around you better. Absolute inspirations. We are really honored to have you in our show today, and thank you so much. Hope you keep up the good work. And yes, and with that, it's a wrap. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Smita.
Thank you,
Thank you, Pradeep.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.